Howdy everyone, Pocher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're moving into the next AI Championships match. We have Outback Gorby going up against Raven Beefheart. So going into bands, we have Gorby picking first. So what are the bands looking like? Going into the bands, we have the Tyros and the Danae from Beefheart. Tyros from Gorby. Like I said, every time golden character's taken off the field, there are very few times where a golden character can make it through. The Danae, again, solid band. No one wants to see a Danae on the field, especially with a leadership ability. She's just going to build up rage stack. She's not going to be a primary target for the AI. So AoE abilities are going to ramp up that rage stack, and she's going to whip your ass hard. So taking out the Danae, smart. Moving into the next bands, we have the Tiliana and the Naja. Tiliana, weapon. You do not want your opponent having her. Get her off the field. Naja, without her Dark Elves, not an entirely big threat. However, the threat lies within her Drake army. If she can summon Drakes to the field, causes a lot of issues. They can do a lot of damage. They can put you in a pretty shitty position. So I always think Anaja is a smart ban. Then we have the Lokia and the Mizuhiku. Lokia, I don't know how he performs as a single entity. I personally believe he needs the Dark Elves in the field to do his damage or to utilize his kit. So it's a questionable ban on my part, but I'm sure Gorby has his reasons for doing it. And then we have the Mizuhiku. We do not want the dots. The dots are bad. If your opponent has an AoE team with a Mizuhiku, you're pretty much losing the match. His dots can tear you apart. So I think Mizuhiku is a smart ban, especially when your opponent is picking first. Going into the picks, the Gorby goes with the Oroheim leader. So yeah, again, having a Mizuhiku on the field, you don't want an Oroheim leader, absolutely. But she is left on the field, and she is picked by Gorby. Going up with Beefheart goes for a complete counter pick with the Cage and the Tanita, wiping out the high elves, the other high elves on the field. But again, solid picks. Cage, anti-healing, can do a lot of damage, can hide. The Tanita glass cannon, a lot of damage, going to help him a lot. Moving into the next picks, we have the Kabuto and the Farah from Gorby. So Gorby is still able to secure another high elf. 5 high elves on the table. Pretty dominant. If you were able to get 3 with an Oroheim leader, or 2 with an Oroheim leader, I think you'd secure yourself the win. So that, and then we've got the Farah. So if Gorby can pull off a full light team, he may have a little bit of an advantage. However, I don't even know how Farah works, but I have seen him do damage, so I don't think it's a useless pick. I think definitely there are worse picks on the field, followed by Raven or Beefheart, who goes with the Mirrodin and the Steris. So pretty solid AoE abilities there. Steris able to guarantee himself a crit, so he could potentially do a lot of damage. Mirrodin potential to stun, bleeds as well. I think both teams are actually looking pretty solid. Moving into the next picks, we have the Pride and the Dreverard from Gorby. So Gorby able to secure the full light team. Dreverard and Pride tanks, taunting, and allowing his Oroheim. And essentially Oroheim is his only damage. But she should have free reign to do whatever she wants. The enemy doesn't have any healing. So Oroheim can wail away while the tanks take all the hits. And then we have the Riser from Beefheart. Riser, essentially a Jag, hides and then does a lot of damage. I think he may do more damage than Jag. I could be wrong. I have seen him do a lot. So moving into the subs, we have the Tricky from Gorby and the Angram from Beefheart. So Tricky, pretty solid character. I do believe he needs Children of the Forest to be the most effective he can, but he's a great utility character. So having him in the background, and Gorby going for just another damage dealer, Angram. So there are weaker damage dealers on his team. If he swaps in Angram for those damage dealers, I think you will see a tremendous change, even though everyone is a damage dealer. And they're not going to see this conversation before they do their fight. So I believe if he could swap his Angram in for his Riser, the amount of AoE on his team would just rip through Gorby. So we'll see what happens after the first match on who subs out and what goes on. But it's a little bit down the track. So let's jump into the battle, see which player has picked the best lineup and who is going to be moving forward in the AI Championships. So jumping into battle, and Gorby has a pretty big advantage with the Oraheim leader and the Kabuto on his team as well. And Beef has a lot of damage on his team, however, not a lot coming out as Steris is extremely quick to fall. Fire coming out with a lot of damage in retaliation and a lot more damage from Kabuto. Pride very close to dying. Mirrodin is next to fall. There is no AoE on... Actually, that's a lie. There is Oraheim and Drevarad. They can both do AoE attacks since Oraheim is range damage. Mirrodin's passive would be quite effective, but as you can see, he didn't stand much of a chance. They are going for Riser for some reason, even though Cage is also on the field. The next target should be Cage. If they can take Cage out, they're doing pretty well. But Gorby's team is fairly strong. There's not much that they can do, even with the damage. Beefheart is going to lose this first match. It's just a matter of time. Riser trying to stall it out while he tries to think of what he can do. And he manages to take out Oraheim, but just not enough to change the battle. First point going to Gorby. We'll take the battle over to the competitors, and they can decide what they want to do next. Moving into the next battle, and Raven Beefheart has taken out Mirrodin and put in his Angrim, so let's see if that makes any difference. The team that Gorby has built is quite strong. A lot of AoE damage, a lot of tanking, lacking the healing though, as the Pride comes very close to dying. If they can take out Pride, that might be pretty good for his team. However, the Tanita is in critical HP. Tanita falls, and the Pride is just hanging on. He is not fallen yet, as a lot of damage comes out from Gorby's side. Steris now dies as a 3v4 situation, and I think that is safe to say that Gorby does have it from this point, as Riser now falls. Kabuto doing a lot of damage. I don't think there's anything Raven can do, or Beefheart can do at this point, as Cage just hangs on. Both characters in critical HP. Pretty good defensive line from Gorby, and Gorby takes the second point, pushing him forward in the AI Championship and eliminating Beefheart from the competition. There we have it. Raven Beefheart being eliminated from the competition, and Outback Gorby moving forward. He will be versing Mermaid Natty in the next round of battle, so an interesting match there. Both players have proven that they've done very well. They know how to strategize, and that's what the quarterfinals are going to be about. All the players that know the characters the best, that know what they're doing. Not to say that the others haven't, but these players have just prevailed time and time again. So until then, we will have to wait and see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.